Welcome, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 4. Okay, well, if you happen to notice, the end of last episode, which was super long because I just lost track of time, quite honestly, and it ended because there was a crash. First crash I've had in a long time with Hearts of Iron 4, and that's because I had played with the because I played with the new patch out and it's crashing people, so I've removed the patch. Had to go back to the last autosave, so that's where I'm at. We're going to pick up playing from here, so be warned about the patch if you're going to use it. Okay. So this will be a little bit of a repeat. Now I think we will declare war goal, conquer, focus, and we now have more factories. We can really bounce back and forth or something. We're upping our air production and submarine as well. Now I'm seeing this here. Let's see how we're doing for producing things. Okay, we're producing quite a lot, but we need to let's go Europe, Romania. Not even getting a full, so let's do that. And help our production, although it's only going to be half. We're going to go for the rubber from the Soviet Union. That'll help, but we're still way behind. Aluminum. I think Hungary has aluminum, building lots of aircraft. Yes. No, we don't need. Let's cancel. Close. How much do we need? Sorry. Oh, almost 40. Yeah. That will greatly help production. Nations did stockpile some of that stuff. Oop, Netherlands have capitulated. Great. Now, let's click on this and give them select all, assign to this task. There we go. There we go. And we gotta keep being invaded. We will if we don't occupy our territory. And I should have already done this. von Kleist moving there into Luxembourg. Like I said, I should have already done so. Personally, I don't know about you guys, but I find this a confusing mess. All these battle lines. Now, of course, we could just make a few units instead of all these units and do it that way, but this is just, you know, let's get the new model of fighters up there. See if we can overrun Luxembourg fast. Okay, we get Hungary in now. Good. We want to do that. I think it was the trade deal that helped. Switched over, so now we've got one more ally. Okay, Operation Lesser Poland. I think, let's see, we will go with the second Vienna award. Next. Computing machine. That's what we're playing on, a computing machine. The AI's let me down here by moving too many forces in other directions, so they've... Well, that's what all these guys are here for. How is our air doing? Okay, well, we got 212. About half strength there. Okay, we're going to take all states. Just turn. Done. I don't like the surrender mechanic personally very much, but I know a lot of EU4 players seem to. Okay, let's give them... No. Can't draw there. See, again, well, one of the viewers thought I was overly complaining about the game. And they may be right. Let's delete all battle plans. And attack. Attack. Get to the French border here. Okay, now we're at the French border. Okay, Gregarian. Let's move to there. And then see if you can move to here. No, I don't like that last one. There we go. And Rommel. Cross the river. And then take Paris. On Steam, his plan is to some degree this mess is sort of vaguely following. I do mean vaguely. Don't like the last one. Yeah, Dunkirk and Calais. Kushner. Here I want you to do a general advance over around past Paris into France. Go. Go for Thunderbirds. Okay, even I hardly know what the reference is, but I do get it. Support that attack. Attacking on multiple fronts there. Part of what I'm doing with this series is a tutorial. Part of it is a experiment to see how it all works, as well as, you know, the standard sort of fun let's play and whatnot. But so it's partially experiment to see how well the AI handles it, as you saw in the recent episode, I think 2 ago, that okay. Let's see what's revolting up here. Well, of course. have any free? There we go, garrison. Let's take one of these. Move it in there with their military police. Attack. Attack. Support attack. Who's upper? That's Rommel, I think we need to. Why are you attacking the damn Maginot Line, Rommel? Now I've signed you there, hopefully you'll attack. I know one viewer wanted me to play with the historical OOBs, but this game just right now is nowhere near... Oh, they're invading up here. Okay, goody. They're invading again. Is nowhere near the level to... Engineer companies, good. And something else, it looks like. And improved infantry equipment. Let's improve military police. We're getting into occupation time now. To play in a historical, detailed manner. It just isn't there yet. Not that I'm against the idea, I'm very much for the idea. Okay, we got more factories here. Sort of heavy on the air, which I want. Okay, we need more infantry equipment. Of course, more air still. Build some more infantry equipment. And that's helping, and we're going to build as well. I'm hoping you guys are evaluating the game to see if it's something you want, because if you're looking for the ability to have the 1939 invasion of Poland or entire German Wehrmacht OOB, you can't. I mean, it's just not there right now to be able to build. To do that way, it just isn't there. Am I building up-to-date equipment, mostly at least? Yeah, it looks like infantry equipment. And we need to trade for at least some more oil. Let's zoom out. Okay, so that's what we've done so far with France. For some reason, the units that I wanted to sweep up through here are now drawing their lines from here. Okay, Paris falls. While fighting still rages elsewhere in France, reports have come in from German troops entering Paris. Okay, so we've got the Paris. Now, about the tiny AI brains. Don't know if I'm confusing it by having so many overlapping commands. And we can produce more. What do we need more of? Aircraft I know already. Oh, anti-air. Vienna. It's useful, but we can produce some other. You can see, I think fighters need to be balanced. They're being used up a lot faster. I think. Okay, now these guys here. This. Oh, somehow they doubled up. Oh well. Okay. Let's draw. No, oh, stop. Oh, bloody hell. How best to easily stop all this? I wanted you to attack intelligently, not everywhere. Okay, 10th. 3rd Army. There we go. Now division. Select all. Let's delete this. We're already there, so we want to go here. Why are you wanting to... Oh, you spread yourself out. Oh, God. That's why. Never mind. Delete all. Okay. Start attacking the Maginot. Move them there. So you spread yourself out. Oh, that's your... I don't know what the hell it's doing. Yes, this is a mess. More so than last time I was playing it. Okay, so all of these, even though I was trying to do a few narrow advances, the AI has spread everything out along this into a big wave front. And is trying to maintain it with all of the divisions instead of a few driving pincer movements. So this just isn't working out, guys. It's not, by my estimation. Let's see if you guys can attack here unsuccessfully. Okay, towed rocket artillery, which is nice. We're going to see about doing some heavy divisions of the rocket artillery support. Okay, we're almost at 41 December, so we're going to... I'll wait to 15 days, let's get something else. It's more synthetic power or refineries. See, they're Panzer IIIs now instead of Panzer II. Icons. Little attack. Yeah, attack. We've got a massive amount of troops and armor fighting this pocket that shouldn't be there. I know a few of you don't want me to complain too much about this game, but it's right now I'm just evaluating. Oh, come on. Attack. Support the attack. Support the attack. You guys attack here. You attack up in there with them. You guys support the attack. Okay, national focus alliance with Italy is bypassed in Second Vienna. We completed Second Vienna Award. Okay, so yes, let's give just northern Transylvania to Hungary, our ally. Oh yes, German technology. Yes, excellent idea. We want to do that. Swap some technology with them. I was sort of waiting for that to do some of the research coming up. National focus. We're going to go anti-com and turn pack. And production. What do you think I'm going to produce, people? What do you think? What do you think? Aircraft. Second Vienna Award. A treaty has been signed at Vienna following the following German arbitration that will see northern Transylvania restored to Hungarian rule. The territory had previously been awarded to Romania upon conclusion of World War I, leading to a bitter dispute. Are these the first of many border adjustments? Now the new order seems to have been established in Europe. Okay, well, little background on this. In World War II there was, and I know many of you know this, but there was the Central Powers and then there were the Allies. The Central Powers basically were Germany, or the German Empire, and the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And there was the Italian kingdom, but the Italian Empire, well, the kingdom of Italy, sort of decided that the war was an aggressive war and not a defensive war, which their treaty alliance was with. So they decided to stay out of it until they sort of thought, hey, we could get a lot of territory, so we'll attack our former allies. So they joined the Allies. Well, Austro-Hungary was a very interesting empire. It was, in my opinion, properly the Habsburg Empire that started out primarily a German-run operation, and of course at times it had the Netherlands, all of it, the Habsburg, and the Spanish Empire, but sort of refocused back down to German elements, and had at times obviously also a lot of Italian possessions and other possessions. But as it reshaped coming into the 19th century after the Napoleonic era into the Austrian or Austro-Hungarian empires, in which most of what is part of Germany here at this time was in the Austrian part of it. They had some of the Tyrol, they had Trieste down to here, and some of the coastline here as well. The rest was sort of the Hungarian part. The Hungarians were, my understanding, someone could correct me if I'm wrong about this, but we're sort of a respected junior partner, maybe, to the German-speaking peoples within the empire, and so they had their sphere of influence, and that included over other minority groups. Well, come the First World War, which was, your crown prince, basically sort of equivalent of vice president, put it sort of into modern terms, was assassinated by forget his name, sort of Bosnian people that were against the Austro-Hungarian Empire, but it was fully supported by the Serbian, that's why we're focusing over Belgrade right here, Serbian Secret Service. They actually gave them the guns, the ammo, and a few other things like that, pointed them at the event to do it. And sort of the tragedy that happened of the war happened that for quite a while Austria was trying to negotiate, trying to investigate, trying to figure out what's going on. Oh, they're fighting down here. Cool. So that the cause and effect became, in a lot of people's minds, separated, meaning Serbia commits an act of war against the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and then months later Austro-Hungary attacks Serbia. Well, this sets in a big chain of events that a lot of nations object to this, and because this is in the pre-cell phone, children out there were days before there were cell phones. Yes. So they couldn't quickly readjust everything. So it was well known that Russia had a basic defensive alliance with France, sort of squeezing in the German Empire as its main objective. So since Russia was coming into the war on Serbia's side, if Germany then attacks Russia, Germany figures that France is going to honor its defensive agreement and attack Germany. And Germany had developed, by Schlieffen, he was dead by the time it actually was implemented, but a plan to attack France, and realizing that before you had the Franco-Prussian War, that they're probably going to have another fight with France at some point. And he really set up an attack plan using a really new invention called the railroads. So, and although the attack itself did not use the railroads in the sense of that they were on trains and attacking in that manner, it was a mobilization from units all over Germany to rapidly, on pre-written orders that were sitting in files, So they just had to go out and send them, and everyone knew what to send. To organize up the troops, to organize up the trains and the schedules to get the trains, get everybody here for the attack. So you go from what is a sort of peacetime, everybody in garrison army, to a DEFCON 5, we're at war, almost instantaneous. And this is how it was. It was sort of a defensive setup here for Russia under the Schlieffen plan, and an offensive plan for here to knock them out fast. That was the plan. And they didn't have a good alternative plan sitting in a different file cabinet to go, oh, what do we do to defend against an attack from France? And that we hope to hopefully be a minimum sort of war, not working. We're not really at wanting to conquer France or something, but we want to go here. They didn't have the alternate plan sitting in a drawer or file cabinet ready to go. So they took out their plan that they thought was excellent and that had been changed since Schlieffen. Schlieffen warned not to reduce the left wing, which is the one that comes here. They had, but not to do that. And it's sort of a big sweep around Paris was the plan. So that sort of gets into, I know this is a long story short, or longer story longer, short story long. This is why Italy sort of justified the attack on France, was that it's no longer a defensive war. Britain, which wasn't part of this defensive alliance between France and Russia, had been a almost creator of Belgium, because it had been part of the Habsburg Empire until the Napoleonic era and the French revolutions have swept into what had been the last Habsburg territories here. That in the sort of post-Napoleonic defeat, instead of allowing Wallonian or all of Belgium be part of France, they set up this own, Britain sort of set up this country as sort of a buffer zone kind of thing. So and Germany just wanted to march through Belgium. They really just wanted to, hey, we're coming through, guys. No problem, we're coming through. We're not going to do anything to you. Well, Belgium, as being a sovereign nation, objected to this, and so fighting broke out. And with that brought Britain into the war to defend Belgium. So, and I don't know exactly the reasons why at some point here they've got Romania into the war. They did this. I think it was some sort of alliance, but I'm not sure. But it took a little while for it to happen with Russia. So, and Romania, sort of maybe even a bit more of it cut out than this here, goes on the Allied side. Now, things don't go so well for Romania during the war, but they end up on the winning side. So, since they've won, Wilson had his 14 points, in which he ended up giving up on all of them to get his League of Nations. One of the 14 points was self-determination, particularly looking at places, like the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Is that, does Slovakia want to create its own country, or does Slovenia or any other place? Great, you get to determine it. And if there's some little pocket of Germans that, not a village, but maybe what a sort of Hearts of Iron 4 state-sized group, they wanted to create some southeast German whatever, they get to sort of create it. Well, that all goes out the window, and so the victors start taking territory. Well, Italy takes some of the Tyrol, takes the sort of Austrian part of the Austro-Hungarian ports, some other territories. Romania is sort of built into a larger power here by giving them part of Austro-Hungary, giving some, I don't know exactly the old Tsarist borders here, but I think because it's sort of communist at this time, giving some territory, because Bulgaria had joined the Central Powers at one point, and so they were on the losing side, given some Bulgarian territory, so it was sort of made a larger state. but I don't ever think they really industrialized well or got themselves going well at the time, so that they were sort of weak. Well, with the rise of Hitler and Germany and this whole movement, they were starting to redraw the maps of Europe. Germany wanted, and remember, you got to remember, Hitler was an Austrian. Now, he was Austrian born, almost literally, on a village in a small town on the German imperial border. So he was in a very German part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, as opposed to raised, say, in the Czech part of the Austro-Hungarian, but the Austrian part, or when he moved to Vienna, he thought the city was way too international, way too cosmopolitan, and it was mostly just international cosmopolitan with people from the Austro-Hungarian Empire. He wanted it too un-German, so he was sort of very raised and comfortable in the German-focused areas, but still you come off with a sense of Hungary as a partner to Germany within Hitler's thinking. So he's very much supportive of trying to rebuild a Hungary that is a significant and powerful nation. Germany throughout the war wanted their Balkans partners to do that, but they constantly failed, and I don't know that it's got to be partly their fault, but they just never really industrialized well. I don't know whether it's the lack of capital or the governmental policies or their culture or other things. They just never really were able to get off the dime and industrialize well, because you look at, and yes, I'm sure it's partly government policies, the Czech part, not the Slovak part, but the Czech part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire had industrialized well, and although there were a fair amount of German minorities within the sort of central part of it, it was still not necessarily primarily German culture. So they were able to industrialize in the 19th century much more so, and have that background, where Hungary, which obviously was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, so it may be an imperial policy, I know this is getting in the weeds a bit, may have not set that up, or whether it's a cultural policy. And when I say cultural policy, you have to look at a nation and its culture and people, not just like its music or its food, but I know Western European culture more. The elites in Britain still, well, maybe not so much today, but a lot of them, trade is a dirty word. Trade is bad. Owning land and getting revenues from land is a good thing. And if you happen to accidentally invest in some other company, well, that's okay, some other scheme. And if you have land that you can dig coal out of, or something that's produced from the land, that's good to do. But if you invest in a trading company, well, that's okay. It's sort of, you did it by accident and you made a lot of money. But so long as you didn't get your hands dirty in the trading part of it, you're okay, you're all good. No worries there, kind of thing. And so that's what I'm talking about as culture, is the culture not necessarily of what we may legitimately call at this time the peasants, but that's part of it. But it's also the culture of the elites. What do the elites do with their time? And I don't really know what it was like in Hungary or Romania. Were the elites trying to just, hey, I've got a large bunch of land and we grow food on it and the people eat and it's good and that's all I ever want to do? Or were they the elites, not the few entrepreneurs, not a few elements, but were the elites wanting to industrialize, wanting to modernize? And whether you have elites wherever you go, you have Soviet elites in the Soviet Union, or you have Italian elites, and they may be in some places aristocrats, they may be plutocrats, they may be intellectuals. What are the intellectuals writing in Hungary at this time as what makes up a good Hungarian person? All of that comes into play when I talk about culture. I am a culturalist. I don't think race is a predominant factor that comes out of 19th century thinking. It's culture. It's not race, it's culture. So we can look at some of the internal resources, but we can see many cases in places around the world today that have very poor resources, like Japan, but they've radically industrialized. So it's not purely determinant upon something like that. I'm sure it helps, but that's not determinant. So this was part of Germany readdressing the, and as goes back to the whole thing, is long ago I learned, and I agree, there was World War I, and the next major war, World War II, was simply fought over the Treaty of Versailles and the, if you will, in the greater scope, the ending of World War I, trying to readdress those situations. So that's what you get here, and that's why you have these situations. Now you might think that what happened would mean Romania becomes very pissed at Germany because Germany is supporting taking away its land. Well, it is a rather traditional country, and in that way it is rather anti-communistic, and it fears this so much more, because this is the big enemy that could literally accident, and it does take a bit of it, sort of accidentally swallow them up, almost unnoticed by everybody. And although the Romanian people will be there, their culture, their society, and everything that they hold as valuable will be gone. So that although big chunks of territory is taken from them, they realize that that is a better, lesser of the evils maybe, but a better solution than being gobbled up by the Soviet Union. And I don't know, and this is an honest I don't know, the little territory down here in Bulgaria and sort of Transylvania territory, whether they were ethnically Romanian or whether they were ethnically Bulgarian or Hungarian, or they were just some other local ethnicity, sort of as they saw themselves, and they were sort of foreign rulers. I don't know how much the locals cared over which national government controlled them. I don't know that. Okay, well, this episode's gone on long enough. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. Trying to keep these a little shorter, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about this history here. So we will see you in the next episode. Thanks so much.